What's up, guys? Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils Week 6 Pac-12 Power Rankings. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Sean DePaz, Shane Diefenbach. Gentlemen, it was another wild week in the Pac-12. We'll get right into these power rankings. Sean, I want to start with you. Your Jolly Green Giant fell to UCLA. Let's see it. What do you have moving this week?
Yeah, I mean, UCLA is obviously the biggest one, jumping up to the number 2 spot with my formerly known as best team in the conference, Utah, dropping all the way down to 4. I guess they're fraudulent. Either they're fraudulent or UCLA is just a lot better than we gave them credit for. Either way, UCLA has to move up. Utah has to move down. 5 through 7 is a little all over the place for me. I kind of wanted to just all put them at 5, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I have to go with who has the best quarterback. Michael Penix Jr. is still the best quarterback out of those 3. Cam Ward comes in second, and then Oregon State barely skated past Stanford. Their quarterback has not been impressive, so I leave them at 7. Arizona State jumps up to 8. Like I said last week, I had a sneaking suspicion that they were better than all these teams below them, and they think they finally proved that against Washington. Cal, Arizona, Stanford, they kind of just all stay at the bottom there. Cal beat Arizona, so they stay ahead. Arizona's loss at Oregon does nothing for me, and then Stanford, still the worst team in the conference. And then number 12, our very own Gerald Bourguet, not just because of the last name, but also he got engaged this past weekend, which is more winning than Colorado has done recently.
Yeah.
So Gerald Bourguet, number 12.
Bourguet's went 2-0.
They did?
This weekend. That's great.
In crushing style.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Utah fell. You'll pay a debt on the PHNX Sun Devils show
it is what it
a little bit later in the week with a shoey. Shane, going to you, just looking at your power rankings on the graphic, obviously you'll go from top to bottom, but I'm really curious as to why you've still got Arizona State below some of those teams.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, as you said. USC definitely still atop my power rankings. This hurts me so bad that UCLA is number 2, but they are. They just are. Oregon stays at 3 for me. Well, Utah, just, I don't know. Their offense could not get going. They're down to 4. Washington State moving up, even though they lost, I think they deserve a spot above Washington. I think Washington's defense is just too poor to be in the top 5 of this conference. Oregon State won, but they won on a moss over 2 defenders with no time left. And against Stanford, so that doesn't really mean anything to me. Cal stays the same, still above Arizona, where they should be, but Arizona 9. ASU, they went up, but only by 1, and this is only because college football is weird, guys. You win games you shouldn't, and performances happen here and there. I firmly believe this team is more talented than some teams above them. However, I need to see 2 wins in a row, and I know they're going into a bye. If they beat Stanford, I think I'd move them over Arizona, depending on what Arizona and Cal do. But for now, they're staying at 10, Stanford down to 11, just barely out of the cellar because Colorado's below the cellar. And what's in the cellar? It's October, the greatest month of the year. Having a great time. Weather's getting nice. Haunted spookiness in the air. Gonna go to some haunted houses probably.
Ooh, not a big haunted house
state
guy.
fairs.
State fair guy.
Yeah,
Huge state fair guy.
Excited for that.
And you get some great conference football in October.
Dude, there are some
Arizona plays Washington next week, so we'll get a head-to-head with that.
That is 100% going to tell us a lot. Before we get out of here, let's take a look at what I got cooking this week. My 1 through 4 is just the same as Shane and Sean. UCLA is still king. UCLA and DTR, they just don't look like they can be stopped unless it's South Alabama. So we'll see what transpires as the weeks go on. We got a good version of Bo Nix this past week in Oregon. They absolutely dominated Arizona. Utah, again, I'm playing the world's smallest violin for Sean because he was riding high on Utah being the best team in the conference. They just simply weren't. I know this is where 5 through 7, we're all kind of all over the place. I like Oregon State still. I like their defense. I know they've had a couple rough performances over the course of the last couple weeks. I know Stanford isn't a phenomenal team, but to win a gritty game the way they did, I'll put them at number 5. But part of that has to do with the fact that the rest of the conference is a giant question mark. I don't know what to make of Wazoo. They were good until they weren't. Lost to USC, just absolutely got embarrassed. Arizona State is a big jumper for me, obviously, with that win at home against Washington. Washington drops to number 8 here. Back-to-back losses. The UCLA loss doesn't look as bad now that that team just dominated Utah. Still need to see more from that defense. Arizona got mollywopped by Oregon. That's why they're falling. Cal's bad at football. Stanford's even worse at football. At Colorado, again, not even anywhere to be found on our power rankings. I got sneakers coming in at number 12. And a large part is because Sean has to do a shoey on our show on Wednesday, and sneakers are great. Unfortunately, he's going to find out that a sneaker probably doesn't taste great with beer in it, but I guess we'll see.
I guess we will. Yeah.
You know what's going to be great?
What?
When Utah beats USC and we have no idea what to do.
Yeah. Welcome to the Pac-12.
It's going to be absolute madness. Look, guys, I know it's a bye week for Arizona State, but you can still get all of your Sun Devil content.
Your fixins.
Right here on the PHNX Sun Devil Show. We will see you guys Monday through Friday, and then next week to see what happens in our Pac-12 Power Rankings.